Okay, there we go.
Yo, what up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy, Uncle Kevin, joined by
Legendary Jude. Legendary. You have to always put legendary.
Quote unquote. Without further ado, let's start.
You don't have to do that thing.
No, okay. No, but you say legendary. No, okay.
Legendary comes with the name.
All right, let's give the people what they want. They wanna know. They wanna know. So I read a story about this guy and this girl.
We're just going straight to it like that.
Straight to it.
Okay.
There's this girl who was dating this guy. The guy got cancer.
Cancer?
Yeah, cancer. And then it was like a brain cancer. Then she broke up with him because she said his cancer was affecting her mental health.
I don't understand. Is it like transmissive or contagious?
No, it's just cancer on him. Like the whole process, it affected her. So she wanted a break. She was done. She just needed. So the question is, was her concern? Are her concerns valid, or?
No, like her concerns are definitely valid, but it doesn't mean you should leave your spouse, right? Because I feel like in the world we live right now, people preach all this fairy tale love, all this love in movies. Yeah. But you have to understand that love is not unconditional. You know, love is definitely conditional. So yeah, it's valid for her to leave the guy. I'm not going to blame her for that, but also she went into the relationship knowing or not being conscious of the fact that something like that could happen. It might not have been cancer. It could have been something else. Maybe the guy had an accident and lost his leg. It could have been something else, you know. So yeah, love is definitely conditional. So yeah, I don't blame her. I don't fault her for anything.
Yeah, but
it's just something that everybody should know when you're getting in a relationship that this could happen.
But don't we say till death do us part?
Were they married?
I don't know.
That's what they say when you're married.
So I was saying now,
even those who go to say till death do us part, small cheating the marriage, and they leave each other, they break up.
but the thing is, let's say, are we saying nowadays our relationships are just based off of perfection? Like, are you saying if you have your partner, you know, I thought that's what love is, you know, you go through those difficult times. It's not like the man has cancer and it's terminal. The man survived. The man survived the cancer. The man is recovered on the road to recovery. But I mean, like, what does it mean to be in a relationship? Should we just be at 100% all the time? No more dips anymore?
Yeah, I was reading this book by Mark Manson. I think we bought it together. The Subtle Act of Not Giving a Fuck. So he said something about relationship. He said relationship these days sparks the kind of... is it the same enzyme that cocaine spikes? Yeah, that's what he said in the book. Yeah, don't quote me on that, but there's some kind of like line like that in the book. And his point basically was we are too caught up in satisfaction. It's like dopamine release, you know?
Yeah.
You need somebody who's going to give you that satisfaction. And then because of that, you neglect the suffering that could come with it. You neglect that the other person has their own stress and they need their own time to, you know, basically go through life. But because we just want, people don't really want relationship. They want like a teddy bear. That's why people are so comfortable with dogs and cats now, because the dog is going to be whatever you want it to be for you. A man cannot be that for you. A woman cannot be that for you. You know, that's a full human being.
I mean, yeah, it's an interesting change. I mean, if you look at our parents' generation, I don't think those people would have left their partner.
Yeah, you know, like the older generation, endurance was definitely a thing. So it's not like this thing wasn't going on there or men were not cheating back in the day. They were. It's just that people were willing to endure more, you know? People were willing to go through shit. Now, if you go through something a little bit, you have TikTok, you have Facebook, you have YouTube to go out and rant and get views. And then you're going to have like a million other people who come and say, oh, I feel the same way too. My sister, leave that man alone. You know, like people are just going to come support you.
Miserable people.
Yeah, all of you are in the same category of misery. You know, damaged people advising other damaged people. So it is what it is.
All right. And then there's an article that just came out which stated that females or ladies' body counts are rising and marriages are falling. What's your take on that?
Oh, I don't know who did that research. I don't know the sample size.
The sample size, the funny thing is this research was only concluded in 2016 and the samples were taken until 2013. So when they found out that women were sleeping with double the amount of men from the 70s compared to 2013, where it doubled. So it's like if they were sleeping with 5 men before marriage, now the number was 10. And given from 2013 until now, those numbers are probably tens, 100, because of the whole sexual movement, sexual liberation of women. They're allowed to do what they want, but then what's happening is a lot of men are deciding not to marry because it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like like back in the day, I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but I believe back in the day, the men could be polygamous, and then the women had to be monogamous. So a man can marry like 10 women, but when you're marrying the woman has to be a virgin. It was accepted in that manner. So the men always looked forward to this new thing that they haven't seen before. So now in the society today where the women have, I don't know if I should say, their eyes are open now, and they don't mind doing what the men are doing.
yeah.
Because of that, the men can't really look forward to anything. It's like, yeah, I might as well just sleep around since you're also sleeping around. So instead of us getting into a relationship and deceiving ourselves, let's just all sleep around. That's like a basic summary of what I think may have happened. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing,
Yeah.
but it just is what it is. It's a society, civilization. This thing, relationship is commitment, is a job. Like people think. I feel like when people get in relationships or get in marriage, they think, oh, this is gonna be my person, my best friend. Like, no, that's also
It's
good.
work.
It's also gonna be your greatest enemy. Like that same person. It's gonna be your best friend, your greatest enemy. The person who's gonna give you the most work. The person who's gonna make you so mad. All of that comes with it. So you have to understand that this is like it's not just a 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is better because at 5 o'clock you leave your job. So in 24 hours, you're doing the work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I was coming up, I was one of the people who pushed for female equality. I was on this what you call it, feminism. I believed in sexual liberation. Why do we judge? But as I've gotten older, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, like sometimes you're talking to a girl, you're like, yeah, long term, and then you're like, but you slept with 20 dudes. I don't know, like, I don't see it.
The thing is, the concept of, or should I say, the new concept of femininity, is that the right word? It doesn't really add up because when you talk about equality is very relative.
Yeah.
Let's say you've been practicing MMA for like 6 years, but we're in the same weight class.
Yeah.
And then it take us to the same ring and ask us to fight. It's equal, right? The same ring, the same weight class.
Yeah.
But you've been doing 6 years.
Yeah.
So who's going to beat who? Is that really equal? So like what my point exactly is, instead of us striving for equality, let's look for common grounds, let's look for where we can meet, because equality is too relative that it cannot be measured. You can't really put like a real factor and be like, at this point we are all equal. Like
Yeah.
you can't really put that. So it's not a real figure. It's like people saying perfection. You cannot really measure perfection. So what are you striving towards? Like, when you say, I'm striving to be perfect, like that doesn't make sense. At what point are you going to be perfect? You can't measure that. So you measure with small attributes. You be like, okay, if I move from here to here, this was a perfect move. From here to here, that's a perfect move. We can't just try to strive towards perfection. So I feel like it's the same way with equality.
Facts. But yeah, I mean, we all equal. I don't even know. Listen, man. Like, good luck, ladies. Good luck with that
The
conversation.
thing, it feels like, why it's so difficult now, it feels like the problem is on ladies, when really it shouldn't be a lady's problem per se. But on the other hand, it's still a lady's problem because men really don't give a fuck about marriage, especially right now. Yeah, like a lot of men you'd meet, they don't mind waiting or staying longer to get married.
Yeah.
But women, even though they want to have fun or they want to chill as men, they also understand that I don't want to use my words on this, but I've heard people say that a woman's value begins to diminish at a certain age. Yeah, I've heard that, like, maybe I think towards some people who say towards like late 30s or let's say 30s.
Yeah.
Some people have said that. I'm not a woman, so I wouldn't like. I'm
You
not
wouldn't.
ascertaining that fact. I'm just speculating right now.
Well, the thing I feel like it's all biological, right? Like we all know that at a certain age, I think post 33, the chances of having terrible pregnancies
Yeah.
increase, and from 33 to 40, you don't really want to get pregnant at that point. And also, if you as a guy, like you're in your 30, you're 33, the chances of you being attracted to someone who's 33 as well, and the experiences that you've all gone through that have allowed you as a guy to reach that age, A, not married, be available, is like you don't really want to be having those conversations. The pressure that that woman brings with her, like, marry me now, give me a kid now.
Exactly.
Now you're starting to step down and being like, nah, I think I'll have
A younger
different problems
or a
and
younger person.
younger person. And the type of man who might be interested in like a 33, 35-year-old woman is like a 50-year-old man who doesn't really want to start a family, who's just looking
Exactly.
for someone to go into retirement with, which creates all these dynamics. And I feel like one of the problems that has happened is a lot of women who were in their 30s and early 40s who were hot, they were pushing this, dating these older men. I think they pushed a lifestyle that was not realistic, right? Like you're on these boats, you're with the Jeff Bezoses, you're doing whatever you're doing with the Elon Musks of this world. But it's like that's 5 out of 100 women who get to experience that. Like, how many people are Kim Kardashian who can pull a Kanye? Like, it's cool. Kim is 40, but it's Kim. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's the problem.
But
That
how did that turn out though? Did it really work out, you know?
Yeah, but she has what she wants, right? She has the kids, she has the money. I mean, she can find like Kim. I'm always, but like
Yo, what? You're available?
I'm available. I come with a salary, but you know what I mean. But not everybody is Kim, and even with Kim, like I don't know the chances of her ever finding like true love, finding someone who's like, I really like Kim Kardashian. Like I wanna get to know you as a person. Like I feel like she's now. I don't even think she is. She's like a symbol. It's
Yeah.
like a status symbol.
The
Like,
thing is, you can't really get to know when someone gets to that level. You can't really get to know them because whether she knows it consciously or unconsciously, but she's going to, at some point, she's going to be what people perceive her to be.
yeah,
This might not be conscious to her, but she's just, like people see Kim Kardashian a certain kind of way. There's some people who see her as like a goddess. Some
yeah,
people see her as a sex symbol. And because of the brand she's built for herself, she's going to have to be to those people what they see her to be. Basically, you're going to appeal to your audience.
yeah. Which
Yeah.
to each your own. I don't know, Kim. But then the problem is it's not for her, right? The problem is the followers, the worshippers. Like I met a girl who loves Taylor Swift to the point where Taylor Swift heartbreak broke her heart. I was like,
Yeah, I know people like that.
like, how is this possible?
I know fanatics like that.
Like, yo, you don't even know the man. You don't even know Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Like, you've never met her. But then that means these people, how they live their lives is reflective of these celebrities. And I think that is a big problem in culture today, whereby influencers, I never like that word influencers. Like, people are super influenced to the point you're destroying your own lives, like.
But should I say Western civilization, people don't think for themselves anymore. People are almost incapable of thinking for themselves because you see, people don't just see people anymore. Like, you don't just see an influencer, you don't just see Jay-Z, you don't just see Drake.
Yeah.
You see an identity you would like to be.
Yeah.
So that's what people see. And because of that, if let's say Drake drops a bad album, you see yourself dropping a bad album. You can't just think and be like, oh shit, I'd like to be Drake, so let me walk towards this. Like,
Yeah.
people don't think like that anymore.
Like,
I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if it's always been like that, but
I am Aubrey Graham.
yeah.
Nah. Yeah.
But relationships are definitely going down the drain. It almost feels like it's a thing of the past now. It feels like it's olden days. If you speak about marriage, a young person can almost call you an old head because that's what they believe is like marriage is for the old people. It's cool to stay unmarried. Back in the day, it was cool to show your wife and bring your family, but now it's cool to be single and
Be
mess
sing-
up.
I feel like it's sad.
No, it's really sad.
Sad.
There are multiple advantages to marriage, especially
Yeah.
staying out of trouble. People underrate how much being married can keep you out of trouble.
Yeah.
Even having just a relationship, people underrate how much that can keep you out of trouble. It's from trouble from financial trouble to physical altercations and all of those things.
Yeah, it's basic. Like I've seen like, single mothers and shit. Like I used to see people on the internet be like single mothers. And then you get to just observe, right? Like what because I was raised by a single mom and you don't get to see it until you get to like look at it. And then you're like, fuck. Because like you'll be looking at someone like, what's the strategy here? What are we trying to build? What are you trying to do? And you find that that's something that a man would think about, right? Like if you say I'm having a family, and then you're like, okay, for my kid, I need to put this in place so that his run rate, let's say 18 years. This is the plan. Like this. For ladies, it's more of today. What are we doing for the child today? Is the child well fed? Is the child this? There is no strategy. There's no discipline. And then you're like, damn, like shit. These structures are needed. We need both men and women to come
Yeah.
together to raise a kid and create this whole thing. But we are now living in a time where people have separated that, and I do not know why. Because of this, it's cool to be single, whatever. But it's like it's
No,
not.
it's the glory of the internet, right? It's the glory of the internet. If you're happily married with your husband and your child, you cannot go on the internet and ask for pity. You cannot.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to the internet, like it almost brings, should I say a thing of sadness for the people who actually didn't have any other choice but be single moms.
Yeah.
Because now some people have choices, but they choose to be single moms.
Because
So yeah, and because of the internet and the pity or like just want to feel victimized, so
Yeah.
they want to be single moms, and now that brings problems to the people who actually didn't have a choice, and because of circumstances, they're single moms. Yeah, so yeah, it's a glory people get on the internet now. If you say, I said in one of my videos, if you speak on anything, any cause at all. If I say I'm single, there's a million other people who want to follow you and say, "Oh, I feel the same way with you. I'm with you. I stand with you." Because a lot of logics people have now doesn't make any sense.
nah.
Any sense? Like, have you ever sat down, speak to somebody, and whatever they say is just like it's like gibberish to you? They make me feel like I'm dyslexic. Like, 'cause I can't comprehend. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I've seen it.
relationships these days, like it's gonna be a big problem. Hopefully, I think it's a circle. It gets really bad and then it starts going good. Hopefully, this is the point where it's really, really bad and then it starts getting good. Because if it still has to go worse than this,
I
then there's
think I think
trouble.
it gets worse because like I talk to kids. Okay, they're not kids. Okay, fine. If someone's 10 years younger than you, is a kid, right? And you're talking to this person, they're like, I'm 20 years old. I've never dated anybody in my life. And I don't know how to date. And then you look at the dating sphere, right? It's like nowadays with the swipe right, swipe left, swipe whatever. You're like, you're 20 years old. You've never, you know what I mean? Like you've been in high school. That's what I did. Like your first girlfriend is likely in high school. But if you're coming out of high school, never dated anybody, the chances of you meeting somebody post high school is hard because you don't know, you don't have the experience of starting a relationship or even having that conversation. And that means now you're starting to experiment in your 20s.
And that's what leads to depression. I
Yeah.
saw a video by Jordan Peterson. He was outlining some of the things that could lead to depression. Number one, he says orderliness. If you don't have any kind of order or structure in your life, then he spoke on relationships. There's nothing, you don't feel committed to anybody. You don't feel, this is not just your wife or your spouse. This could be like your kid or your mom or somebody. You don't feel the need to tell somebody, I'm going to this place, I'll be back at this time. There's
Yeah.
nobody like that in your life. And if you notice, most people right now, you see depression, mental health, because they've never had any connection since high school. People just go to school, hate everybody in school, then go back home.
Yeah.
They don't have girlfriends. They don't have any kind of relation, not even friends that they want to keep after school.
Yeah.
And then with the hopes that at some point in life, I'm going to make friends. You don't have the social skills to make any friends.
Exactly.
So at what point are you going to make these friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start like, that's why in Africa, I always make this point. Depression is not as much in Africa, even though we're not even aware. Most people are not aware of what depression is, but it's not a lot. Because Africa is a community.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's talking to everybody.
Yeah.
I can just go to my neighbor's house and start a conversation. Like, he didn't invite me, doesn't even know I'm coming. I'll just go there, talk to him for 1 hour, and then go back to my house.
Yeah.
So like just those little interactions and fun, just talking is gonna
Yeah.
help you a lot. But
That's
it's
the
Western
word.
civilization, and that's where we find ourselves. And it's even worse now that we know those things because we've come from a different place, so we can see as outsiders.
Yeah.
These children don't even know that they're in this situation.
Yeah.
So they can't even get help. You only get help when you acknowledge the situation. So they don't even know the situation, so they can't get help.
You don't even know. That's the thing. It's like you don't know. Like you end up, you're like having this conversation with the person. You're like, damn, you're 20. You've
Yeah.
never done
And
this.
if you notice, this thing is like a circle. The fact that these kids don't know that this is why they're feeling a certain way, the best way for them to feel intimate is by having sex. So that's why you see all these body counts increasing, but no, they're not building relationship. It's
Yeah.
kind of like one night stand, hook up, one night stand, hook up. So the body count is increasing, and then there's no social skill to keep the relationship, and
Yeah.
then to feel or to express your intimacy, you go have sex with another person, and it keeps going like that. And then after you've had sex with like 100 people, and you realize, oh shit, I'm not connected to any one of them, and then you become depressed, go down the hill.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's like nobody wants me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. You got more topics for us, young man?
Okay, so what do you think of Donald Trump running for 2024? You know about the indictments, the 34 felonies, 136 years imprisonment. Yeah.
Yes, I've heard a little because I used to follow Trump's situation. Like when he left office, that's when he got the charges, right? Because he left with the papers, some secret covert. So I never thought he would come back. I thought that was it. Like when 2020 came around and he lost the election, I thought that was Trump done. He's not going to run again because I thought even him running the first time was a mistake. I didn't think he wanted to back then in 2016. And then, so now that he wants to go again, I feel like it was just, I sometimes feel like he felt betrayed the way he lost the previous election. And
Some
now,
people would say he didn't lose, that he was cheated. What do you think?
I don't know, because this is America, this is the home of democracy where cheating should not occur.
So in this next election,
Yeah.
with all the felony charges and all the court cases he has, do you think he stands a chance of winning?
Of winning, I think it depends on, because I don't think the charges are that serious if they're allowing him to run.
He said felony though.
Yeah, it's felony and
But you can run from jail, so I don't think those charges actually hurt.
oh, okay, you can be a president in jail. Oh,
I don't know the whole concept. Maybe
Yeah.
you can
oh,
be,
he will pardon himself.
yeah, you can be pardoned until maybe continue after. I don't know about the American
Yeah.
law, but I heard you can run in jail or something like that.
Because yeah, that's the part I don't know how it works. Because I thought in America as well, if once you become a convicted felony, you cannot even vote. So I do not know how American political systems work.
Yeah. So the whole thing is I've read the 36 charges, I believe, 34. I believe there are 34, and number 1 to like 7, they all looked the same to me. It's like he altered something on the document. I don't really understand, but they all look the same to me. From what many people are saying, they're saying that was a misdemeanor that was exaggerated to felony. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, if he was really a felon, do you think he'd walk on the street? He's still doing podcasts. He did a podcast with, I think, Full Send Podcast.
No, yeah.
He recently did the man is still going around doing the podcast, doing his campaign. So I don't really think they are hurting him. As a matter of fact, the struggle to hurt Donald Trump is increasing his votes because he now can say they are weaponizing the justice system. And it's looking like that because you're not nailing him. If you said he committed a crime, then nail him,
Yeah.
convict him.
That's the
So
thing.
yeah, you're not convicting the man. And also the structure is not consistent. I think how many years ago they said it was tax evasion. This one they said he's raping. Now they said he had a rape case, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they said from tax evasion to raping, and now they said tweaking documents. Then they said the one about Stormy Daniels. It's like
Oh, it's
not.
back. Oh shit.
Yeah, they said the one about Stormy Daniels. That one, Stormy Daniels now has to pay him $620,000 because she lost the case. So it's like You don't pick. I don't know about the justice system, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't pick fights like that. I would find out one thing that I can like nail you, like give you like a smackdown, like finish him. That one thing. But this ones they're going like it's like they're searching for something to hurt him. And
Well,
the
yeah.
question would be, why now? This man, why didn't you start the whole prosecution since 2020 when he left office? Why is it now?
Well, they had to carry an investigation. The thing is, with politics, I feel like what's happening is, and what has happened for a lot of politicians is technology has moved faster than their strategies, right? Like all these strategies and tactics were used back in the day, whereby you're trying to influence people by saying, "Look at this guy is a bad guy," which was the tech system, and even now, like the whole, like the criminal case, Trump is about to get arrested. The thing is, in America, they believe in innocent until proven guilty. So that means he's not in arrested because the only reason he would be running is he's 100% sure he's not getting arrested. All these things can go away. And I feel it's also like not a good look for America. Like you have your president, someone running for president who can be arrested. It's not a good move. I do not know why they're doing it. I understand it from a Democrat's perspective to smear his name and destroy his name. But then I feel like, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. So the more that you're putting him on TV,
Definitely no bad publicity for
the
Trump.
more you're doing it. And I think the problem right now in which he might end up winning is the situation on the ground. Like I know in Canada, like the economy right now is just fucked up. And then when you compare, I don't know how it's like in the States because I haven't really looked at, but people seem like they're making money, but people also complaining. So it's like if I don't have food in my house, and what happened, like what made him win the first time is people were not making money, people were hungry. So if that's the case in America right now, it's like we just want change. It doesn't matter if it's Trump, if it's
Yeah.
DeSantis, if it's whoever.
They were
Get the
voting.
demo-
Yeah, they were voting against. Like the first one, they were voting against Hillary Clinton. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what most people said. That they were not necessarily voting for Trump, but they were voting against Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And that might be the case now because it feels like a lot of people want to vote against Biden. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
apparently Biden has been screwing up the economy. So the problem is the economy. Once you start affecting someone's food and ability to take care of their families, with the way AI is coming, like for everybody's job, like it's
Yeah.
like yo,
Biden definitely has his hands full right now. That's one thing. As a politician, I always advise people who are going into politics, pick one struggle and make sure you deliver on that thing. So if something happens, you be like, I'm the one who did this. Biden has his hands full from trying to get allies from Africa, the war in Russia, trying to help Ukraine, the de-dollarization with China, the economy in America, the division already between the Republicans and the Democrats,
Yeah.
the killing, the gun laws. Like Biden definitely has his hand full. Like at this point, I don't know, man. Yeah. So if people are still curious why Donald Trump might win, let's say they're not voting for, let's say Donald Trump is not a formidable candidate, but people might vote against Biden
yeah.
just because like they don't want Biden anymore in office. So for change, like you said, they just vote for Donald Trump because I don't think any other person is going to be there.
Well, not the American election next year.
I think 2024 next year.
So Biden got in the pandemic, so they traded
Yeah, I think
Trump into Biden. Damn, he's had a terrible. Okay, no, it's. I feel like Biden got got the presidency at the bad time, like post COVID or during COVID, right? That's 2020, end of 2020, and then you go out of COVID straight into the war.
no, but the thing is though, it could have gone either way. Donald Trump left office because of COVID. Like basically, Donald Trump. One of the primary reasons why Donald Trump left office because it's difficult to unseat a sitting president in any nation.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons Donald Trump left office was people thought Donald Trump was not doing properly or was not doing well with the COVID. He wasn't handling it the right way.
Yeah,
And then he kept saying China virus. People said, oh, that's racist and also it's not handling well. Let's take it. Basically, all the trouble surrounding Donald Trump
was COVID.
was COVID. So, and the campaign strategy, you see how, should I say, God works in mysterious ways. The campaign strategy for Biden was COVID. Who do this for COVID? Who do this for COVID? And then when he got in, economy hits, war hits, everything hits.
Yeah,
and now Donald Trump is coming to say, if I was the one, Russia would have never invaded Ukraine. You see now, like, so the struggles they are having is what the other president is using as their campaign.
It's a campaign.
So it's always gonna keep going on the loop now.
And
It's
that's
crazy.
that's the tricky part. Like for Biden, that's what I feel for him in the sense of it's just not been a good time to be president. Like
It's never a good time to be president.
the past 4 years is just been like terrible.
It's never been a good time. Obama got in 2008, right?
Yeah, he got.
Yeah, that was when.
That was a terrible time to be
Yeah, it's
president.
never a good time to be
But
president.
he turned it around. I saw Trudeau. Trudeau was crying like in the past 2 weeks. I was just like, it's real. Like, because it's fun.
This guy Pierre, for Trudeau, Pierre Poilievre, that guy is nailing Trudeau. Like, every side, every corner is fighting Trudeau.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if that guy gets power right now, like you cry. Like the way.
Oh, it's not easy on anybody.
Like the way this economy has just been going, you're like, yo, what?
Oh, it's not easy on anybody because it's not like it's magical. There's really nothing you can do right now to change the economy right now. See the house prices.
Yeah.
You have to earn 108,000 to be able to rent an apartment downtown. How many people are earning 50,000? Half of that money. How many people?
Where do you even get $108,000 job?
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I have my guy who got that job, like 100 and something thousand, but he has to pay the agent who got him the job 2,000 every month. I was like, bro, I spend 2,000 every month. Like, why are you just giving this person 2,000 to do nothing?
Yeah. It's really crazy. So basically, downtown, if you want to live downtown, just forget about that. That's why if you go downtown to the apartments, you see like 4 or 5 people squeezing in one apartment so they can afford it.
It's crazy. Like downtown Vancouver is just ridiculous crazy. On my channel, I do reactions to these living on X amount of dollars. I did one where this lady was like, she makes 6,500 in 6,500 passive income. She lives in Vancouver, and in total she makes like 100,000 every year. But then what she did is, instead of buying houses in Vancouver, she buys them in the States and rents them out because I think she's American somehow. But the craziest thing is the boyfriend. The man has no visa, so he cannot work. I was just like, this is a good setup for this brother. He cannot work.
So the woman has to sponsor everything.
The woman has to sponsor everything. And the woman is making bag. Like, if you're making 100,000, you just say, I'm like, I don't know if I'm making 100,000 if I want to carry a second body, and then he got her pregnant. So it's like 3 bodies now. Like, and the dude is still doing, or he has no visa. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know if he'll ever work again. But my commentary on that was like, in this economy, this is not it. Like,
the relationship might not last until he starts doing something, because at the end of the day, like when you put so much pressure like that on a woman, especially a man, maybe could handle that situation for a very long time, but a woman at some point she's gonna start looking at you like, you're just a problem. Leave my house. You know, he's going to look at you like you're just eating. You know how you're just eating and somebody's getting mad. Like, why are you eating like this, bro? So I'm just gonna get mad. Like, why are you eating weird? Stop making noise when you're chewing your meat. Leave my house.
Yeah, like I was watching the video, and you'd see his actions. You know what I mean? Like, when you don't have a say. You know what's going on? Like, these people just brought these cameras. Now we have to sit like a happy family. You're just like, fuck, I have to be here and behave. And like, no. I just don't know. Like, in this economy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna be for his own good to do something. Yeah, it's gonna be for
visa.
He should work illegally. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, he has to do something. He just like this thing. You have to understand. Even in your parents' house, your parents will get tired of you and be like, "Leave my house." Your parents, they gave birth to you. You're their obligation, like your parents. So imagine somebody who's not related to you just saying, "You're my boyfriend," and then you want her to take care of you. No, at some point she's gonna get tired.
I was like, where do you find these women, bro? Like, I'm down. Like, yo, the way she was like, oh, he's not working, he's no visa. I was like, wait, what?
And also the fact that she was able to like express it in that detail means she thinks about it.
Yeah,
maybe she could be thinking about it in the positive way of her being concerned for him. or it could be that she's thinking about it in a negative way that hurry up and leave my house if you don't want to
Yeah.
get a job.
Because she was breaking down a thing, and she was like, if I save up 800,000 and I'll be able to retire, because she was dividing it by saying she needs like 40,000 a year to survive. So for her, that would have, I don't know what's 40,000 into 800,000, but somehow the math added up for her to retire. But then I was like, damn, so this man doesn't even have to work for the rest of his life, because she's almost there with her properties and stuff like that. So it's like, yo, I don't even know how it works. Ladies, please, in the comments, let me know. Like, how are you convinced? Because for me, I feel like even if I was to find a partner, you gotta do some shit. You gotta do something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, me, it's just, I mean, the problem I have with somebody not doing anything is just that much free time. Like this thing, the devil really uses people that have
Yeah.
so much free time, because you don't really have free time. You're busy doing something. It just has to be, what are you doing?
Fair.
Yeah, it just has to be what. If you're staying at home, you're not just staying at home. You're gonna be thinking about something stupid, or something weird, or you're going to be trying to do something weird. You're just gonna try to use your time, or
Yeah.
just sleep the whole day and gain some unnecessary fats or something. Yeah, so you just have to spend time doing something that is enhancing the
something.
family. Yeah.
These are the type of people who start chasing Trump for those things you're talking about. Like, the charges that are ridiculous.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
because they have too much time in their
Too
hands.
much time sitting down where you're like, huh?
Yeah, that's why when people, like this comedian made a joke one time and it was funny, but I thought this is actually serious. He said one of the reasons why your wife is always checking your phone is because she doesn't have a job. He said, imagine your wife working at the bank. And then yeah, it was funny. We were all laughing, but then I thought, this is actually true. He said, imagine your wife working at the bank from, like, you know, bankers work till very late.
Yeah.
And after she works very late, she has to drive home in traffic. And then when she drives home in traffic, maybe she'll come back to the kids or something. And then after that, imagine when she sees your phone. Tell me if she's going to touch your phone. She's not going to touch your phone. I'm like, this is it. It's funny, like, because the way he was saying it was almost like, you know, it was not almost, it was comedic, but it's actually true. If people are busy, like, you can't just be thinking about evil or thinking about some weird shit.
People are shady. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here were more topics for them. Or
No, I think that's everything for now.
call it a day.
We've actually we've gone too long already.
All right, the editor will edit. Good people, subscribe to the channel.
All right.
Leave us a like, leave a comment. Let us know which other topics we should touch on. You know what they say. If you see a black people walk into your store, okay, here's a joke. It's if you work in an electronic shop and you see black people walk in and request a microphone and camera,
They're setting up.
chase them away. They're about to start a podcast and say some shit that will get them in trouble. But anyway, I hope I don't say shit that will get me into trouble. It's been your boy, Uncle Kevin.
We'll apologize after. Because now it's a norm, right? You say shit and then come back and apologize. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you have not to be careful anymore. You just say shit and come
You
back and
have not
apologize.
made it until you have a YouTube apology video. I apologize for my thoughts on such and such a topic.
whatever we've said.
All right. Peace. Say goodbye to the people, man. Last words for the people, no?
No.
Inspiration for the rest of the week. Stay busy.
Yeah, stay busy.